event.
My key take from those remarks is we can do it all together. So I hope that that is a challenge that we're all going to take after this. I would like to now welcome our Compassion International Kenya National Director, Mr. Mr. Samuel Wambugu, to give his remarks.
Thank you very much. Our chief guest, Chair of PB Public Benefits Organization Regulatory Authority, Mr. Mabonga, Honorable Mabonga, Executive Director, PBO Regulatory Authority, Mr. Matuma, all invited guests, members of the CSO, good afternoon. So my name is Samuel Wambugu, and I'm grateful for this day. I want to thank God. But allow me to first of all acknowledge the PBO Regulatory Authority, just acknowledging the cordial relationship that we continue to have, and also the support that we continue to see. I also want to appreciate that they've done a good job in organizing this NGO Week 2024. Indeed, it is a true mark of collaboration with the government, and we are very grateful. Again, to just expound on the theme of the NGO Week 2024, I'd like to talk about synergy a bit. And indeed, synergy is critical because in the work that we are all engaged in, we need all the hands on deck. It is work that requires all of us to pull together and to row in the same direction. So I represent Compassion International, and I did not come alone. I have a team that is also at the exhibition desk, and I would like to invite all of you to just visit our booth. But I'm also flanked by one of our senior leaders here. She's calling it for purposes of accountability. I had come with someone to prove that I was here. So, to take some photos. And hopefully I'll get an opportunity to take a photo with the PS Internal Security. Yes, thank you very much. So, Compassion is a Christian organization, a public benefits organization that is Christ-centered, that is church-driven, and it is child-focused. Its programs, our program delivery entails serving the poorest of the poor, children and youth, with intervention that target the whole person in terms of their physical, their social, their economic and spiritual needs, what we call holistic child development. It's a global organization, and we have presence in over 41 countries in terms of both fundraising and also program delivery. So speaking of synergy, the program interventions are carried in partnership with our anchor partners. As I mentioned, we are a Christian-based organization. And our anchor partners is the church, who are actually at the front line of the work that we do. Naturally, also our other key stakeholders, key partners, we consider very invaluable partners, are the government agencies and departments, the judiciary, the police, and other CSOs. So Compassion has been in existence for the last 44 years. So next year we will be doing 45 years. And we thank God for the milestones and the work of serving the needy and the vulnerable in the community is concerned. So far, we have presence in 31 counties out of 47, and we are currently ministering to over 138,000 children and youth, and those are the direct beneficiaries. However, we know that these children come from homes. And from statistics, we know in Kenya, all families every family, every household has about 5 people. So if you do the math, it will land you somewhere around 700,000 beneficiaries who benefit, who are program beneficiaries of Compassion International work. Our programs are long-term because we register the program beneficiaries, who we call participants, because they are active contributors of their own development. We start from 0 years, that is from the time a child, even before the child is born, up to 22 years. So it's pretty long-term, and over these years, we've had over 15,000 graduates who have passed through our program, and some are serving in government in very high places, names withheld. So we want to believe that we have continued to release children from poverty in Jesus' name. And our interventions, I'll just highlight them very quickly. We are big in the area of child protection and safeguarding, and our strategy is both prevention and responding and response. Then we're also in the area of health interventions, basically in the areas of treatment and rehabilitation, prevention, treatment and rehabilitation, education, food security, family economic empowerment, housing, shelter, disaster response, and water projects. So if you forget everything I've said, we minister to the whole person, holistic child and youth development. So we embrace a developmental approach for sustainability, both for our anchor partners, but also for the program beneficiaries. So you'll be able to see that we actually align very well with the government pillars, the BETA and the SDGs, the area of infrastructure, housing, food security, economic empowerment, health, and all of that. So for all of this, we are grateful to God for the selfless help of the supporters and the other stakeholders who all together have enabled us to push over 6.3 billion annually. I think that's I need to make a correction, it's not 2.3 billion, but it's actually 6.3 billion, which we did last year, and even this year, 6.3 billion annually in doing and pushing our program delivery. Our mantra in Compassion is all children must be known, all children must be loved, and all children must be protected. And so we thank you for the opportunity to present, and I hope that we'll continue to hold each other's hands. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity. It is indeed my distinct honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel Wambugu, National Director, Compassion International Kenya. If you've been keen in listening to what every speaker stood here so far, collaboration, partnership, working together. So take notes. We're going to do some homework as we get to the end of this. I would now like to welcome Madam Mercy Murigi, Government and Public Sector Consulting Manager at PwC. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll say all protocols observed. I think we've had a lot from the partners here. I'm quite privileged to be here. I know a big chunk of people in the room are from the non-profit side of things. So to be here as a private sector player, I'm quite privileged. You guys are doing an amazing job. It's quite an interesting time in this, well, in the world, but in Kenya specifically. We've had a very difficult couple of weeks with the floods. Prior to that, we had the drought, we had COVID, we had locusts. Everybody is talking about, how to engage the youth meaningfully. There's a lot of conversation around the finance bill. There's so much going on, but there's so much work that all of you are doing, and I'm very privileged to be in this room with you. I like that we're here. I think sometimes we're busy doing the work. We're busy doing the things that we are mandated to do, to take time to reflect, to look back, to take stock, to network, to laugh, to dance. It was so nice seeing everybody dancing. It's very few events where you go and see people actually volunteering themselves to go dance. Especially people who sit at the front, they're usually, encouraged to go dance. Today, everybody was happy to dance. And I hope we can continue doing things in that way. Collaboration, again, remains the word, is to just come together, do things together. We have so much we can learn from each other. So I want to encourage all of us to continue working together. And that's why we're in the room. I'm from PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, working with both private sector players, but also non-profits, development partners, the government, doing an array of things. From an advisory perspective, we work with different players to just sort of be the wind under your wings. So as you figure out different things, just reach out to us. From an advisory perspective, whether it's tax, whether it's accountability, I've heard that word also being used a lot. We have a team that is doing a lot of assurance work, but also we have a team that supports with consulting and so on. So not just PwC, but private sector, I think we are all ready to support and to work, and especially with the PBO Act officially being in operation, we would want to just strengthen this space. Because of the work that you're doing, I think it's in the best interest of everyone that you not only survive, but you grow. So I'm hoping that together with the private sector, together with PwC, we can do more. So reach out. I'm seated somewhere. We have a booth outside. I have my colleagues somewhere seated around here. So reach out, let's talk a bit more. I know I had a minute, so let me use it to just say thank you for the work you're doing, and I'm hoping we can do more together. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mercy. Very short, brief, but very powerful. At this juncture, I would like to welcome the chairman of the National Federation of PBOs, Mr. Stephen Cheboy. Welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm Chambo. Kwa sababu PS representing the government, chair, the board members present, as SHOPCO members said, and compassion. I have also my members to prove that there was an event. So if you are a member of the federation or a leader, can you wake up so that we see you? Actually, everybody in the room is a member of the federation, only that active members, I have to say that active members, and we will recruit everybody at the end of the day to be part of the federation, because there is no other house. So can we clap for ourselves? We also had a very great grassroots representation who have come all the way outside Nairobi. If you came out from outside Nairobi for the sake of this event, can you wake up, we see you. If you traveled from around the country, can we clap for them? Thank you so much, Chair, Principal Secretary. You could see that our members are very, very serious when it comes to our business. And being NGOs Week, I don't need to speak much because we are celebrating ourselves. And when you are being celebrated, you don't speak much because you are likely to miss your event. So we are very careful. And allow me to take this opportunity, first of all, to appreciate the government, because the government has been so supportive. Like what just happened recently, we have been agitating for a law for over 10 years. And recently, the other day, His Excellency assented to it through the Cabinet Secretary. Can we appreciate the government for that law? And as we move forward as a sector now, the PPO sector, we shall do our best to make sure that we provide the services much required of us. We will continue because now the sector is much more open. The sector has more opportunities through the new act. And we also work with other stakeholders, the private sector, the media, and all other players to make sure that we implement the act to the letter. Someone might be asking, what is this federation? This is just the recently National Council of NGOs. When the law came in place, it transited into a federation. Now this is the new house for every PPO. Only that we have to reach out to you, we have to talk well, we have to make sure that you are part of the house. So I call on our big brothers, those who have resources, let us nudge at this PEPI. Let us make sure that the PEPI has proper structures all the way from national to the grassroots so that we have proper representation. We are a democratic nation. We don't force people to be part of us, but we use the best language. Make sure that everyone updating our rules and regulations. The rules that we have had was for that 1990. That is why sometimes we have had challenges in the sector. At some point, we have been told you have had Cheboy so many factions. What are you doing to bring them together? I want to assure the House that we have been having a very good discussion so that we don't have factions moving forward. And anybody talking of factions is actually our enemy by extension. You talk of factions that are not there. You talk of splinter groups that are not there. So we are one united federation. If there is anybody who has maybe just a different opinion, we will talk until we agree, because this is our house. Are we all together? Yes. So that at least someone should not say, oh, mlikuwa na nini? Hapana, hiyo tulimaliza na tunaendelea kuhakikisha tumeleta kila mtu pamoja. Tukiendelea, nataka nishukuru. I want to really appreciate the authority through the chair, Mheshimiwa Mwambu. Thank you for your leadership. You have been so supportive every time I bring a discussion. At least the board supports. Edie, thank you so much. Now the Director General Mutuman Ganada, you have been so supportive to the sector through and also the federation specifically. And the board members, thank you so much. The board members, you have been so supportive every time we table a report. It is passed so that the members of the federation can appreciate and also implement. As I call towards concluding, the PPO members, I have no mind to say. I'm so humbled for the good work we are doing. Anything that child, planting that tree, actually growing that tree, ensuring that you help that somebody suffering in the hospital, helping that women, that youth. Can we clap for ourselves? We really appreciate you for that good work. The private sector who supports our PPOs, continue doing that. Represented here by PricewaterhouseCoopers and others, please continue doing that. Agencies who support our NGOs, the intergovernmental agencies, those agencies that provide financial resources, I will not mention everybody, but all donor community, thank you for the good work. We have seen that many of our resources have been coming from external sources. I think we need to have our camps so that also we can have local sources so that we can increase on the local funding. I want to leave here by thanking everybody. We'll make sure that, Chair, it has been a promise that even as we move on, in terms of accountability, we will not have those discussions fighting with our members. We will talk internally to make sure that we don't rub shoulders with the government. How do you do that? File your annual returns. Make sure that you are in good books of government. Every time, just like for those who are registered with KRA PIN, for you not to have a problem with KRA, file your annual returns. For you not, is that the case? Yeah. For you not to have a problem with the authority and the government, file your annual returns. Whether you received any money or not, please say, I worked this hard this year, I didn't get anything, this is my new returns. If you received some small money and there, please file it so that you don't have a problem. And whenever there is a problem, we have a listening authority and the federation will be there to work with you all the time. Thank you and may God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen Cheboy. For every stakeholder who has taken the stage and shared their remarks, I would like us to specially appreciate them for the remarks and also appreciate them for taking the time to be here. Please, a round of applause for every stakeholder. Thank you very much. The hashtag is NGOs Week 2024. Let us trend at number 1. We are now moving to get to hear from our key speakers of the day. And before we get to that section, I'd like to say, this is a quote by Dinesh Paliwal. He says, "Collaboration is a key part of the success of any organization, executed through a clearly defined vision and mission that based on transparency and constant communication." Let that be our challenge today. I've seen your communication materials. I've seen transparency being part of your visions, part of your missions. So let us take it as a challenge as we collaborate to achieve literally all that we want to see for this country and for this community, that we are all coming together and working to see fully implementation and fully success of all those activities. At this juncture, allow me to welcome Mr. Mutuma Nkanata, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Public Benefits Organizations Regulatory Authority. Makofi tafadhali.
Thank you very much, Patricia, for doing a wonderful job. May I disclose to this group that we had an MC, an official MC was supposed to come for this event, but because we changed the event from Monday to today, that official MC did not come. But I think that official MC could not have done better than Patricia. Let's clap for her. We are truly grateful. The PS for Interior, represented by my friend General Miri, the Chairman of the Authority, PPO Authority, Honorable Mabonga, members of the board, members of the diplomatic corps, reps of various UN bodies and private sector representation, my colleagues at the board, all protocols observed.